So, Saxon, tell me a little bit about your situation. So, the one thing I know about you is you want to be a firefighter.
Yes, yes.
Have you wanted to do that for a long time?
No, it's pretty new. It's a bit of a new passion. I'm currently a lifeguard, um, and it's a bit of like it seems like a bit of a transitional thing for a lot of us, just based around like what we do and kind of most of the stuff we know. A lot of the guys tend to like move into that career as well, and then it opens up the doors for you to be able to do both, which is like something that's we all really enjoy. So it's a bit of like a natural progression for us, I think. Really, most of the guys you'll speak to will say that.
Yeah, great. So, have you attempted yet?
Yeah, I tried 2 or 3 years ago in the COVID year, but I didn't have the vaccination, so I was straight out, and then I just got kicked out of this last one in the video interview. So I got through
Oh,
the first stage, and then didn't progress through the video interview stage. So that was why I kind of accepted this meeting. It wasn't so much like the group panel interview, because I've done a lot. I've done a lot of like council interviews and government job interviews and stuff like that for lifeguarding. So like I totally understand sitting on a panel and doing star method and all that kind of stuff. But the video interview one was a little bit weird because it wasn't like it's not like a face to face thing. So it's like a they'll pop up on the screen, they'll ask you the question, and then you go from there. And I did have a bit of inside information from a few friends that had done it and then done the questions, and guys that had come before me, but they kind of had the idea of getting like a script kind of together and going through that way, which is what I did. And I didn't necessarily feel right about it because I feel I'm better if I just go for myself. But I thought that's kind of worked for a lot of people, so I did that. But yeah, I got denied. So it was more like taking this little meeting and this opportunity was more like trying to find out maybe a bit more inside information on what they're actually looking for in that like that section of the process. Because when I
mm.
wrote down the answers, and I definitely can improve on my delivery, and I probably should have been myself and just gone and done my own thing. But yeah, it was just more about trying to find what they actually want right there.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, Saxon, you've already kind of answered your own question.
Mm,
Because I think they want to see you and
yeah,
just see if you're someone that they think might fit in the way
yeah.
that you're communicating.
Mm.
And it's very awkward. I acknowledge that to talk
Oh,
to a
it's terrible. I'm
computer.
so happy to get in front of a panel. That's like fine with me. I'm happy with that. The whole sitting in front of a computer and not even having like you right now to be able to like
Yeah,
interact with, and then you're staring down the screen at yourself, going, "What? Like what?"
I know. I
Yeah,
think we all have to get used to this in a
yeah,
really rapid way because it's the future. But and a lot of organizations are using it as a kind of a screening point
mm,
to say yes, no, yes, no.
yeah,
So I think it's really important that you be yourself. And
yeah.
I think it's it's hard now because it's past, but you
That's all.
know,
I'll be back next year. I thought it'd be a good opportunity while it's fresh.
yeah, I
Kind of
mean, I think you should trust your instincts, Saxon, and your
yeah.
instincts were don't do a script, just be authentically you,
Mm,
because that's when people connect with you. And so this short video response that you do is an
yeah,
opportunity to connect with them and let them know that you can fit.
yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's ruthless in a
Oh, it
way
is. Yeah, yeah.
because it's yeah. So what were the questions that you answered?
I've got them here. It was, why do you want to be a firefighter, and tell us how the values of Fire and Rescue New South Wales contribute to the work of a firefighter.
Oh yeah, now I
Yeah.
remember them. So just without thinking that you're answering a question, why do you want to be a firefighter?
I just feel like my skills that I've gained through lifeguarding are just like extremely transferable. And as I said, it's like a natural progression. It's something that I'm interested in. I love like the rescue aspect of my job when we actually get calls, like not just sitting around, when we actually get to go and do something. It's something that I really enjoy. I feel like that I can just really transfer like directly into the role like quite easily. And a lot of people that I really look up to around home, like ex-lifeguards and all that kind of stuff, and guys in my surfing community and everything, they're all firefighters, and all they ever talk about is how much they love the job and how much it fits so well with the lifestyle and everything that they want to do. And it just seems to be like seems to be something that at the moment I'm really interested in, and I really want to take on. So
Yeah. Okay, so let's just flip this a bit, yeah? What do you think they want to hear in this question?
I think they want to hear all about their values and how you can pick them all up and adapt with them and be able to learn and grow and educate the community and all that kind of stuff. Like,
well, hang on. In this question, why do you want to be a firefighter? Wasn't that the first question? Why do you want to be a firefighter? What do you think they want to hear here? Is that what you're answering? They want to hear that you line up with all the values and.
I think they probably, as we just talked about before, I think maybe a few more personal notes, but that's from what I'd heard from like some other people, is that they really want you to hit their core values and everything.
Yeah. So, I think the second question is very much about that. They're saying, what do you know about us?
Mm-hmm.
But this first question is about you, and it's why do you want to be a firefighter? I just wonder what you think they want to hear. What might tick their sort of like.
On my one here, I talked mostly about when I was writing down like some ideas and when I thought that it would come through. It's mostly just some of the highlighted stuff here was just like the passion that I had for the job. Like in my current role as a lifeguard, I take great pride in serving the community was another one that I tried to expand on. Like the demands of my job are transferable. We have like an education part of role of my current job as well. So mostly my answer and the way I went about it was most of the stuff that I already do is quite transferable.
Are you 100% sure of that? I'm not trying to quiz you. I'm just saying it might come across like if someone's, if I was interviewing someone who's coming to work for me and they're like, oh yeah, no, I know everything that I can do in this job. Don't worry, I know it all. And that might be for me a bit of a red flag. That
was one thing that when I looked back on what I thought that I probably didn't quite hit home enough, and what I could have talked about a bit more was like a willingness to learn and grow and from like peers and other people in the department.
Yeah.
And take it all on.
I mean, I love this. I love what you just said before. You really enjoy working in service of the community. Yeah. I reckon that's something definitely keep.
Yeah.
And what else? So what are some of those transferable skills maybe that you could pull out, or some of those traits or qualities that you have that you could pull out and just focus on for this question rather than say everything's transferable? This is a home run for me.
I think a lot of the part of my current job as well that I enjoy and I feel like would move over really well is like the education part. Like so much of my work at the moment is preventative stuff, and I like to be able to think that I can identify like problems quite quickly before they pop up, and then be able to educate like all the tourists and stuff like that, just to be able to educate them on kind of where they might be going wrong, and there's all simple little fixes along the way. But yeah, that comes back into the service of community as well, I guess. But
yeah. So that's just kind of expanding a little bit on that and saying, you love working in service of the community and educating them about the safety risks.
Yeah.
I mean, for this answer, when I was coaching people for FRA to respond to it, I was suggesting that they, identify a couple of key strengths that suit the fire service, but are real. So you can talk kind of from the heart, which you are.
I definitely noticed that, like when I talked to a few friends that kind of had are still going through. And even though some of it was quite scripted in a way, they came like from what you're saying, more along the approach, like from a personal, like heartfelt approach.
Yeah.
Which I'm starting to think now, the more I read it back now, when I was thinking of it, I was like, yeah, I probably, because as you said, like you got to go with your gut, and it didn't feel right when I was doing it. But when I was writing it down, I thought I was like, this could be, I don't know, it felt like I was hitting home where they really wanted to have it. But that was like, well, I was just trying to find where they want to be, because I can go all these different routes if I want to, but I was just trying to find what they really want.
Yeah.
To hear.